Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Monday the 24th of October 2022. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use the Radiant Rider-Waite deck today. I'm going to choose 3 cards to see what the tarot wants you to be aware of. First card is the Moon, the Knight of Pentacles, wow, and the Queen of Pentacles. The message I'm getting via these 3 cards is feel the fear and do it anyway. The Moon is a card that says you are on the right path, even though at times it may seem scary. There may be wolves barking at you, or you may feel watched from a tower and vulnerable like a target, or you may feel that people are fundamentally angry at you, or that the odds are stacked against you and the situation isn't going to work out. And that is underlined by the Knight of Pentacles here, because the Knight of Pentacles is the only knight where the horse isn't moving. All the knights are extreme, and most of them, particularly the Knight of Swords and Wands, they rush into the situation. So with the knights, they either do too much or too little. And the Knight of Pentacles in particular, he governs the area of earth. So anything that exists on earth, the physical body, the environment, work, finance, taking action in a practical sense. And his issue is that he doesn't know when to ride into battle and when to sit on the sidelines and when to watch. He's always undecided. So the Knight of Pentacles, I would say, is not the most useful one when it comes to expecting some action, because he's always ho-humming and doesn't actually get to make a decision. And with this card, it says to me that the combo means that you're unable to decide to do something because you're afraid of doing it. But with the Queen of Pentacles here, at the end, a good outcome, someone who rules the element of earth, who's in charge of it, rather than the knight, who's still grappling with it and trying to come to terms. It means if you pursue something that scares you, and that's risky, where you don't know what the outcome is likely to be, please do feel the fear and do it anyway, as Susan Jeffers would say. By the way, I always recommend that book. I read it years ago and it really helped me so much. It was written in the 80s by Susan Jeffers, and it's very much about taking action despite fear and not letting it kind of rule what you do. So what is going to become very apparent, I think, you'll think of certain things that you have a desire to experience or to pursue, but as soon as the thought comes up, the fear comes along with it. Well, what if I change my job and I become a self-employed artist, and I draw these paintings that I'm really into? Let's say they're abstract nudes or something. What's the family going to think? So I don't want to annoy them. I don't want to have a fallout because they're really important to me. So I'm not going to do the art, even though it is very important to me, because I don't want to make waves. That then, and those kind of processes, only you can decide what's right and what isn't. You know, in that situation, maybe the family is more important to that person than personal expression. Someone else may look at that and say, you know, I owe it to myself to speak up no matter what the family thinks. But only you can decide which way is right. And what the cards are saying, that if there is fear there, then you can almost guarantee that it's something that you want to do. And you're kind of being sabotaged by the shadow self, which comes in and says, oh, no, literally hold your horses, don't do this, it's too risky. Just keep your head down and get on with it, and don't pursue this. It'll make life difficult and worse. So play that by ear, but I think fundamentally, this day is very much about not letting fear tell you what to do, and advancing the Knight of Pentacles and turning him into the king or queen, because he still has some learning to do, and today is an opportunity to take that final step, to give the horse a bit of a nudge and to get it moving, because you will be able to achieve great things in all those areas I mentioned that are ruled by the knight: work and your physical body and your appearance and your living situation and what country you live in and where you work and how you work. If you overcome the inner fear and deliberately decide to move, even though the outcome isn't guaranteed, and you fill this little gap with faith and say, do you know what, I'm going to choose to believe that this will work out. The cards are saying that if you're able to follow that process, you will get to a place of success and triumph where you're very happy with what you've done and you're very glad that you made this decision one way or another, that you took a risk, because look, it's turned out so well. So the answer or the result of this thing that you're pursuing, you'll get an answer or some sort of message that says continue on or you're on the right track on this day. So everything seems scarier under the light of the moon. Imagine this in the middle of the day. You'd be like, oh, a cute little lobster, lunch. It wouldn't scare you. But in the middle of the night, it's a different story. So manage the way you're looking at things, plural, and expect you to have a little bit of extra anxiety. And that doesn't mean you have to stop and pull back. It actually means you're getting warmer and you're growing and mastering your circumstances, and you're able to decide when you act. You don't let your fears or your concerns decide for you. You're the boss here. And finally, the Queen of Pentacles, when you've made that step, what's striking me now is that there's no more armor. So once you get through the difficulties, you come out the other side, and as a result of what you've done on this day, things look much easier. What that's reminding me of, even though it may be a bit strong for this example, is I think Churchill said, when you're in hell, keep going. I don't think you're in hell here. I think you're anxious and you're seeing the negatives much more easily than the positives. I'm saying act anyway. So, yeah, it's not hell. It's maybe mild purgatory of anxiety. But by pushing through that, you'll really surprise yourself. So this to me says that the shadow self, the ego, is deliberately interfering here because it doesn't want you to thrive and to grow and to develop. It wants you to stay stuck and afraid. Excuse me, that's my computer in the other room. It's so, every device rings. I usually turn that on mute. I didn't today, excuse me. Okay, so number-wise, we've got 18, and chord cards count as 1. So 18 and 1 is 19, and another one is 20. 20 reduces to 2 in numerology, and 2 is about relationships and cooperation. Oh, and that's saying something different to me now. That's putting a different light on these two, which I hadn't seen before. But 1, it's saying that you can work with other people very well, and you can talk to them about what you're doing and where you're going, and that'll alleviate some of the fear. But also, the message I'm getting via the number 2 is that you can also bridge this gap. And if you're looking for relationship, connection, yeah, like a romantic relationship, by taking action and facing your fears today, you can make progress in that area of your life too. Yeah, so the key thing here is to not let fear dictate what the day is going to look like. You decide. Have a wonderful day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to audio reading with me. And if you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe and share the video online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.